This is Freya's final car ride with me and the last time we will see her. If you have followed her journey, thank you so much for spending time with us. If you haven't, there are several videos about her on this channel and on Kate Bonnie Country. The short story is that she was shot by her neighbor, then surrendered by her owners because they couldn't afford veterinary care. My family agreed to foster her until she was fully healed. She was an only dog, and we have a pack of 5. Between the gunshot wound and being overwhelmed by the presence of other dogs, ours was not the best environment for her. I want to thank each and every member of this community that helped us pay for her veterinary care and worked to find a placement for her. You saved her life. I want to show you some footage from about 2 days before she left us. But first, welcome to Kate's Country Critters. You can call me Kate. Thanks so much for stopping by. Come have a seat while I make some coffee for us, and I will tell you about the channel. Kate's Country Critters is dedicated to helping the pets and pet parents of Bibb County, Alabama. When my schedule allows, I groom dogs for Save the Bibb Fur Babies. If you would like to help too, please pause this video to come back to later and click the link above. I will also place that link in the description below. I also groom matted animals for members of the community that love their animals but cannot afford grooming services, and help them learn how to groom and handle their animals at home. In order to do that, I need your help. The easiest and free way to help is to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave comments or questions below. If you would like to do more, please consider joining my Patreon community. As time permits, I post Patreon-exclusive content for all members, both free and paid. I also offer grooming tutorials and other perks to paid members for as little as $2 a month. The $15 per month and higher levels are designed for my physical customers as subscription budget billing options to prepay for their grooming services. If you are not a physical customer and would like to become one, please send an email to katescountrycritters@gmail.com. If you live within reasonable distance of Centerville, Alabama, and have a dog in need, please send an email so we can discuss grooming and featuring the dog in a future video. Looks like the coffee is ready. Let's get back to today's video. In the time Freya was with us, I worked on her leash skills and other basic training such as learning to leave it, sitting, and staying. We also worked on her canine social skills. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to capture a lot of that on video. I am a one-woman show, and it was quite difficult to focus on her and hold my camera to capture everything. Similarly, as she warmed up to my dogs and learned how to nicely interact with them, I didn't always have my phone at the ready. This is a bit of footage that I was able to capture 2 days before we said goodbye. I was working to find a placement for her for weeks. The 3 foster families that agreed to take her once she healed all backed out when the time came. So the focus became on finding a rescue or rehab that would accept her. I had lined something up, but was waiting on a space to open. Then we had an incident. We had started allowing her to interact with our dogs while she was on leash, so we were in direct control if there were any signs of aggression from any of our dogs or her. Rojo, our 6-year-old German Shepherd Pit Bull mix, and Trigger, the not-quite 2-year-old Dalmatian mix, had begun playing nicely with her, and she accepted their corrections when she wasn't minding her manners. So we started closing off one room so the 3 of them could play together. This left the 3 girls free rein of the rest of the house. Freya had just started to understand that Tamir, the husky, wasn't being aggressive and just wanted to play, but there was still too high of a risk that one or the other would play too rough and trigger a fight. Thrude, the 10-year-old lab bully mix, well, she growls as her primary means of communication. She growls when she is excited, both in good ways and in bad ways. Freya interpreted all growls as aggression, so they really could not be around each other. Well, during a time when Freya was off leash, Thrude came in the room and growled just because she was excited. I think she actually wanted to play. Freya thought Thrude was growling aggressively towards her and reacted. Since she was off leash and this was not a planned interaction, there was no way to prevent the two of them from tangling. We ended up having to break them apart, and they both had minor bite wounds on them, but Thrude did have a significant cut on her belly. Freya ended up back in the crate, and Thrude had to wear the recovery suit and donut for a while. Thrude is on antibiotics to prevent infection, but the wound was not severe enough to require sutures. So with our 10-year-old girl now wounded, we needed to accelerate our plans for finding a placement for Freya, or we would have to... Trigger, you want to talk to? Do you want to say something? You want to say something about Freya? Do you miss Freya? Really? Okay, good boy. Or we would have to return her to the Bibb County, Alabama animal shelter. The adoption rate at that shelter is only around 15% right now, with roughly 85% of the animals being euthanized. That was not what we wanted for Freya. Thankfully, we did find another placement for her, and we are now taking our final road trip together. Working with Freya for 6 weeks provided me with a new perspective on what I am doing with this channel. I cannot save all the dogs. I really wish I could. Save the Bibb Fur Babies has a limited but dedicated number of foster families, and each can only accept a limited number of foster dogs. They cannot take in more until the ones they have find homes. So I am going to shift the focus of this channel from finding homes for dogs that are currently in the shelter to finding homes for the dogs that are in foster care and preventing dogs from going to the shelter in the first place. There are an alarming number of owner surrenders these days. Some are surrendered because families must move and cannot find housing that will allow pets. Some are surrendered because the families can no longer afford to feed them. Still more are surrendered because their families cannot afford veterinary care or to even have them groomed properly. If you live within a reasonable distance of Centerville, Alabama, and are either a foster parent of a dog looking for a permanent home or a struggling pet parent that cannot provide proper grooming for your dog, please reach out to me via email at katescountrycritters@gmail.com. I want to help dogs find and stay with their perfect pet parents. And your dog, and you if you consent, could be featured in a future video. With that, we say farewell, Freya. Her journey is not over, but our role in her life has come to an end. It was great seeing you today. Feel free to stop by anytime.